If you see Femi in a suit, smelling like turari, an expensive designer perfume, with that his beard that looks like they used ruler to draw it, you will agree that truly not all demons carry pitchforks. Some drive Toyota Highlanders and work in oil and gas. For almost 2 years, Femi had been playing the guitar of Linda's heart. Linda was a beautiful babe, a banker with a brain sharp like razor. But when it comes to Femi, love had used a thick duvet to cover her eyes. You see, Femi's strategy was what they call military precision. He knew that the devil is in the details, so he never left any loose ends. He told Linda he was a project manager for a firm that required him to travel deeply into the remote parts of Nigeria, places where network is scarce and the struggle is real. That was the foundation of his transit love. Every day, Femi would call Linda at exactly 7:30 a.m. "Babe, I'm heading to site now. The traffic on 3rd Mainland Bridge is wicked today," he would say, his voice deep and baritone, mixing Nigerian smoothness with corporate lies. They would talk for 40 minutes until he got to his office car park. Then, bam, the pattern would change. "Babe, let me rush into this meeting. These white investors are around. I'll call you when I can." And true to his word, he would call during lunch break. He would call when he went to the bank. He would call when he was driving home. But once the clock hit 8 p.m. or more, Femi's phone would transform into a brick. "Linda, my love," he had told her early in the relationship, holding her hands across the table at a fancy restaurant. "You know I work with sensitive data. My company policy is strict. Once I am in my apartment, I have to switch off my primary lines to avoid corporate espionage. I only use the company walkie-talkie." And Linda, poor Linda, she nodded. "I understand, baby, you are so hardworking." Meanwhile, in a duplex, Femi had a whole government, a wife, Simi, and 2 children that looked exactly like him. Simi was a good woman, the type that cooks edikangikon with dry fish and massive goat meat to welcome her husband. The kids, Junior and Tiara, adored him. When Femi entered the house and threw his phone on Do Not Disturb or hid it in his shoe rack, he became Daddy of the Year. He would roll on the floor, watch cartoons, and act like he didn't just finish telling Linda that he missed her body and soul. The deception was high class. The Oscar-winning performance happened the day Femi's second child, Tiara, was born. That day, Simi had gone into labor early. She called Femi. Femi was with Linda in his cinema. They were watching a romantic comedy, eating popcorn. When his phone rang, he looked at it. It was his mother-in-law. He silenced it. "Who is that?" Linda asked, eyes on the screen. "It's just my boss," Femi whispered, squeezing her hand. "They want to stress me even on my off day. I won't pick." Linda smiled, feeling special. "Aw, you ignored your boss for me?" "For you, I will ignore the president," he lied. For 3 hours, while his wife was breathing through contractions in the hospital, Femi was analyzing the movie plot with Linda. He dropped her off at home, kissed her forehead, and promised her that their own wedding would be bigger than the one in the movie. "I have to travel to Port Harcourt tonight for emergency dredging," he said, putting on a sad face. "I will miss you." "Go and succeed for us, baby," Linda said. Femi drove like a madman to the hospital, changed his shirt in the car, sprayed mouthwash, and rushed into the ward just as the baby was being cleaned. "I'm here, honey. Traffic was madness," he panted. Simi smiled weakly. "I knew you would make it." He was a wizard, a legend of bad behavior. But as our elders say, one day for the thief, one day for the owner. The day of reckoning did not come with thunder and lightning. It came with Instagram algorithm. Linda was ready to settle down. She was tired of the "I will marry you next year" anthem Femi kept singing. She wanted to start planning. Since Femi was always busy or traveling, she decided to take initiative. She started looking for wedding vendors on Instagram, photographers, caterers, MCs. One Saturday afternoon, Linda was scrolling through the Explore page. She saw a post by a popular luxury event planner. The caption read, "Throwback to last weekend. A surprise 40th birthday intimate dinner for the boss himself, Mr. Femi, planned by his lovely wife, Mrs. Simi. Love lives here. Hashtag Black Love. Hashtag Family Fest. Hashtag Lagos Parties. Linda wanted to scroll past. She didn't know any Femi. Wait. She scrolled back up. She zoomed in. The man in the picture was wearing a white agbada. He was laughing, holding a champagne glass. A woman in a beautiful gold lace was feeding him cake. 2 children were clinging to his legs. Linda dropped her phone on the rug. She picked it up again. Her hands were shaking like someone drank 5 cans of energy drink. It cannot be, she whispered. Maybe it is twin brother. She went to the tagged accounts. She clicked on the wife's handle. It was open. Linda became FBI, CIA, and EFCC combined. She scrolled down. She saw pictures of their vacations. She saw the picture of the newborn baby from 2 years ago. The caption, "Welcome, Tiara. Daddy made it just in time." Linda checked the date. She checked her own gallery. That same day, she had a selfie with Femi at the cinema. The timestamp was 7 p.m. The baby was born at 9 p.m. Linda shouted. Her neighbor actually knocked on the wall to ask if everything was okay. She didn't cry. The shock was too big for tears. She sat on her floor and pieced it together. The 8 p.m. curfew, because he was with his family. The weekend trips, family outings. The bad network, he was in his house. Rage started to boil in her chest. She wanted to drive to his office and burn his car. She wanted to post the pictures and tag him as a beast. She wanted to call the wife. But Linda paused. She remembered a story her mother told her about a woman who fought a pig in the mud. The woman got dirty and the pig enjoyed it. "No," Linda said, standing up and dusting her bum. "I will not disgrace myself." The next day, Femi called at 7:30 a.m. as usual. "Hello, baby. Good morning. I'm just hitting the road now. How was your night?" His voice was cheerful as a morning radio presenter. Linda didn't shout. She didn't curse. She used the sweetest voice she had. "Morning, Femi. My night was beautiful. In fact, I had a revelation." "Oh, prophetic dreams? That's my baby," Femi laughed. "Yes, Femi. Are you at the toll gate?" "Yes, almost there. Why?" "Good. I just sent you a WhatsApp message. It's very important. It's a business proposal I want you to check before you get to work." "Okay, baby. Let me check it quickly while in traffic." Linda had sent him just one picture. It was a collage. On the left side was the picture of Femi and his wife cutting the cake. On the right side was the selfie of Femi and Linda at the cinema. Underneath, she wrote, "Your network has finally been restored. Have a nice life, Daddy Tiara. Don't ever call this line again or see me get the full album." There was silence on the line. "Hello, Femi?" Linda asked innocently. She heard a loud horn, the sound of tires screeching, and Femi shouting before the line went dead. He was so shocked he nearly hit the car in front of him. Linda blocked his number. She blocked him on WhatsApp. She blocked his email. For 2 weeks, it was hard. She cried into her pillow. She felt stupid. How could she not see it? But then she looked in the mirror. She was young, she was smart, and she was free. She didn't have to hide anymore. She didn't have to wait for 7:30 a.m. calls. 3 months later, Linda was at a wedding. A real wedding, not a movie date. She was wearing a stunning asoebi that hugged her figure in all the right places. She was laughing with her friends, holding a glass of Chapman. "Excuse me," a voice said behind her. She turned. It was a man, tall, dark, and unlike Femi, he wasn't wearing a wedding ring. He had a kind face and a gentle smile. "I've been trying to get your attention for 10 minutes, the man said. "My name is Kunle. I hope I'm not disturbing." Linda looked him up and down. He looked decent. "Kunle?" She tasted the name. "Are you a project manager that travels to remote sites?" Kunle looked confused. "No, I'm an architect. My office is in Yaba. I close by 5 p.m. Why?" Linda laughed, a rich, genuine sound that came from her belly. "Nothing," she smiled, extending her hand. "I'm Linda, and I love architects who close by 5 p.m. As she danced that night, Linda knew she had won. She had dodged a bullet, kept her dignity, and opened the door for something real. Femi was probably somewhere in traffic, sweating, wondering if his secret was safe, living in fear. But Linda was dancing shaku shaku into her future. And that, my people, is how the cookie crumbled.